Hello, this is Kent Stoddart, your English 101Y professor, and I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to navigate the English 101Y lecture platform and the English 101Y laboratory platform. So the first thing we do is, you can see this is the Los Angeles Harbor College webpage, and we go to the portal login, click on that. I'm sure most of you know how to log in. If it is your first time signing in, here's a link. If you forget your password, here's a link. New Microsoft forget your password link. So we have links to help you access the portal. So we'll sign in, and you'll see your mail, Outlook. By the way, in Outlook, you have access to Excel, Microsoft Word. So if you want to use Word to write your paper, which I would like you to, you can use it here. You have access to Excel, PowerPoint. Of course, Outlook is your email account. So you have access to Microsoft Word for writing all your papers right here in the portal through Outlook. Okay, so, whoops, what happened? Where'd I go? Uh-oh, I have to go back to the Los Angeles Harbor College website. Whoopsie, sorry about that. Logged me out for a second there. Portal login, go back in there. And so Outlook is there. Here's your Canvas platform. And here is a English 101 lecture. So you'll click on this, and it will take you directly to the home page. And I talk a little bit about the class and home page. I have some contact information down here for you at the bottom of the screen. Here you will have weekly announcements. In the announcements, they are titled by week. So if you look at week 1, it'll say what the reading is, what you have to read, and then once you've done the reading and where to find the reading, where you do the writing, and where you take the quiz. So announcements will help you with the information and the materials that you have to finish each week. And then let's go down to the syllabus. Here's our syllabus. The syllabus has more contact information up here at the top. Here is your the Scotts-Forsman Handbook for Writers. You don't have to purchase this textbook. It's in PDF files. I've selected chapters from this book, and I have put them in files. Most of the chapters begin with the title, How do written and visual arguments work? Or how do you manage quotations? How do you manage transitions? Our first chapter will be, how do you write in college? So you'll click on this and you'll do the reading from the Scotts-Forsman Handbook for Writers in files. We'll go back to the syllabus. The first novel we'll be looking at is Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha. It's a very short novel. You can find it in any library. You can order it online if you want to. The college library has it on ebooks. So the first 8 weeks we'll be reading Siddhartha. The second 8 weeks we'll be reading The Great Gatsby. Discussions will be based on these two novels, first Siddhartha and then F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. And but the first 8 weeks we'll be using Siddhartha. Here's the course objectives, the student learning outcomes, special features of online courses that you should read, course requirements and grading is all here. Total points, and some advice on record keeping and academic honesty. Here's some discussion board guidelines that I'd like you to follow when you do a discussion each week. Here's some discussion board tips. The grading rubrics for the research papers. And then at the bottom here you have research paper 1, the questions to choose from, the due date, research paper 2, questions to choose from, the due date, and then here each week is what you'll have to do, a discussion and a quiz, based on the reading in the Scotts-Forsman Handbook for Writers and one of the novels. Like I mentioned before, the first novel would be Siddhartha. So it just goes through, and you can click on any of these and it'll take you right to where you need to be. So let's now go to the modules. And they are designated by week. So first week of lecture notes will cover the first chapter in Siddhartha, which is the Brahmin's son, and it will cover how do you write in college, chapter 6. So these are the notes from the reading that will help you with the quiz and the discussions. And then I have here just some simple Google search of who Hermann Hesse is and who Abraham Maslow is and Carl Jung, and just a quick Google search. There's a glossary of terms for Siddhartha. You can find that in the first announcements here. If you click on announcements for number 1, you'll see it right there. You can click on this blue link here and it'll take you right to the terms. If not, you can also find it in files, the Hindu terms. Click on that and that will take you to the terms and terminology used in the first novel that we're reading, Siddhartha. So once you've done the reading from the textbook and the novel, and you've read the module notes, the first thing you probably want to do during the course of the week is go to quizzes and take the quiz to see if you understand what you've read. So you'll click on quiz, and if you click on quiz, this is just a preview, but it's 20 points. You have 80 minutes to answer 10 questions. They're multiple choice questions. So you would just click on the one that you think is the correct answer, and then you would submit the quiz. So make sure you do the reading before you take the quiz, because you'll find the quiz is much easier if you do the reading first instead of trying to do the quiz before you do the reading. Also, you have 2 opportunities to take the quiz, and it will take your best score with the quizzes. Once you've completed the quizzes, then you'll go to discussions, and you will go to the first discussion. Number 1 is the Brahmin's son, and I will give you a question to answer, and you are to write a short mini essay on the particular question. I have a document here. If you click on this Microsoft Word document, the Brahmin's son, if you double click on this, whoops, did I click on it? It will give you, whoa, here you go. It will give you a template to follow to answer the question. Make sure you have a title. I don't have it here, but up here you should have your name, my name, English 101, the due date, and then of course it will give you a little template to follow here, and that will help you answer the question. So how do you answer the question? You hit reply. hit reply, and this dialog box will come, and you will compose your discussion right in here. Then you'll post your reply. And then what I'd like you to do is you will reply to 2 other students. So you'll be able to see some other students who have posted, and then I'd like you to reply to them. I want you to examine what the student has written and explain to me why you disagree or agree with his or her analysis. It's also important to make sure that you check your grammar usage before you post. You might want to do a little revision, do a little spell check, do a little editing before you, proofreading, of course, before you hit that post reply. And so a quiz and a discussion will be due each of the weeks that we have. I'll go back to home. So, and if you want to know, there'll be an announcement sent out to you, like I mentioned before, and it will be week 1, and it will say to you, read the Brahmin Son in Siddhartha. Of course, you're going to have to check that one out at the library, find it on ebooks, order it through Amazon, but you'll need the textbook to read. Don't have to pay for it because it's in any public library. So if you have a library card, you can find it there. And then how do you write in college? Like I said, you can find that in files. You don't have to purchase the Scott Forsman Handbook for Writers. It's on files for you. It says, before starting Siddhartha discussion, go to the Laboratory Canvas platform and read the week's module in the laboratory. So you may want to, before you do this discussion, go to the laboratory and see what it has to say. And I'll show you how to move over to that Canvas platform in a moment. It says, then read the discussion prompt, answer the question in discussions, use the template that I've attached to Siddhartha, respond to other 2 student entries. No later than Friday, take the examination and quizzes. And I've attached here also, like I mentioned before, the glossary of words and terms used in Siddhartha. So each week in announcements, it'll tell you what you need to read, what you need to do, steps to do it. And so you may want to check that out. So let's go to dashboard. We'll go back to dashboard. And what we have here is the laboratory section. Remember, this is a 3.5 units class. This laboratory will really help you out. Here's a little information about the laboratory. If you notice, it just has announcements, it just has discussions, and it has modules. So each week, what I suggest is look at the announcement, just like the other platform. Go to modules, and the navigation bar, it says, whoops, let me go down here. For week 1, it says go to modules on the navigation bar, click on the module for this week, read all the content in the module, and at the end of the module, click on the video tutorial. So I've linked videos to the module information. After viewing the video or videos, go to discussions and answer the question by clicking reply. Write 200 to 250 words telling me what you've learned and how you'll use the information found in the module. So let's go to modules, and we'll look at module 1. And what you'll find in module 1 is it really helps you. If you read this information, it'll really help you with the discussion on Siddhartha, show you what it should look like. Here's a template again for that discussion in the lecture portion of Canvas. Shows you what it should look like. And then it talks about the Stephen Tomlin model of argument. We'll be using that in the course, and you can click on that, and I'll take you to a YouTube tutorial on the Tomlin argument. So you want to look at that. And then after you've read the module, go to discussions. And all I'm asking in discussions is very simple questions, not personal questions, but questions about what you learned. I said, what are one or two ideas from Laboratory Module 1 that you feel will help you with your college writing? So you would just, 200, 250 words. After I read the Stephen Tolman model, I realized that I can incorporate it to do, and just kind of give me something that you um, understood, or a concept that you can use to help your writing. And you don't have to reply to another student. Just tell me what you think you've learned, and you're pretty much done with the student laboratory. It's modules for extra help, video tutorials, examples of how to do certain things with your writing, and then go to the discussion and let me know, what you learned for that week, and I'll give you 20 points for that. Also, if you go back to the dashboard and you go back to your lecture, I talk about, the importance of the laboratory in the syllabus. And if you go down here, it says course requirements and grading. It says number 4, English Laboratory is on the other Canvas platform that is titled Laboratory. The laboratory is designed to help you with discussions, quizzes, and the research papers. Each week, you'll read the weekly module, watch the videos, and then in discussions, tell me what you learned and how you'll incorporate the information into your college writing and reading. Each discussion is worth 20 points. The total added up points is 240 points. Now, those 240 points aren't added up into this accumulation scale, but I will definitely add those 240 points into your grade. So it would behoove you to make sure that you do those discussions and look at those laboratory modules, because they'll really help with the research paper, really help with your college writing. So make sure that you do that. Here's kind of an example of what I want your discussions to look like. But that's it for your English 101Y with the lab. So you'll have a lecture class, you'll have a lab class, the lecture class, you'll have some reading from the textbook, the novel, module reading, a discussion, and a quiz. But before you start that discussion or quiz, you may want to go to your laboratory, look at the module, watch the video tutorial, tell me about what you learned in the discussion for the week, and then go back to that lecture, take that quiz, and make sure that you write that discussion and then reply to other students. So here's a little tutorial to help you navigate the platform. And I'm really looking forward to this class. I know the last time I taught a lecture with a laboratory, I had great student retention and I had a great completion, and I had a lot of my students take my English 102 class the following semester, and they did great. So I think this laboratory lecture is a real benefit, and I think it really helps. Plus, you get 3.5 units instead of 3, and that's a perk. Anyway, log on and just sort of navigate, go through the navigation bar, read what you need to read, make sure you look at those announcements to see what's required during the course of the week. And of course, if you have any questions, contact me. And you can contact me through the inbox here. You can click on inbox and you can compose a message in inbox, send me a message, and you'll select the course. It'll be the course that you're in, and then it'll title something, and then you'll just write in here like an email. Hello, Mr. Stoddard. Hey, I have some questions about the discussion. I have some questions about the quiz, and then I will respond to that. Of course, you can also, besides inbox, you can also use my email, which is listed on the syllabus, and I have some other contact information there. If you want to, you can use chat, but if you use chat, other students will be on chat as well, and you write in here a little message, and then I'll reply, and maybe some other students will reply too. So you have inbox, you have chat, you have email, a lot of ways that you can contact me. So that's the end of this little tutorial. Thanks for listening, and once again, if you have any questions, contact me, and we'll see you.